And there we go. We are live and not Memorex. Hey, hey, hey. How are we sounding out there in Northern California?
I'm not on chat, guys, so...
Yeah, later on we'll hook up the keyboard. So, all right, X-File sounds good out there? I hope so. Right on. Hello, everyone. Welcome to SacUFOCon.com out in Sacramento, California. We are broadcasting live for the first annual event, 2012. This whole shindig is put on by Anthony Sanchez of UFO Highway. You know what? Let's get Anthony in here.
Okay.
Yeah.
You want me to go grab him?
You know who Anthony is? We're going to get Anthony in here.
Think he can hear us? Anthony.
Yeah, the big guy. You're going to have to give him that one.
Okay.
But I have two more. You just have to go back there and get it if you want to get them now. Or yeah. They're they're in one of the bigger cases. You know what? Just shoot.
No, I'll just get up and let him sit right here and move.
Okay.
That's all right.
And then afterwards we'll get. I bought two more. So.
And we're gonna be here for 2 days.
Yeah, we're being here 2 days.
We're just barely starting. We only had 3 hours sleep.
Oh God. Long story.
But only we're feeling good after 2 cups of coffee.
And nitro.
Yeah. And no bull on that one.
I already finished mine, dude. So I was like.
I already drank the 5 energy shots, man. Thank you, Joe. And they're a big hit over here because hardly anybody had any sleep.
Yeah. Is he coming?
Yeah.
So he's going to pretty much sit up. There he is, Anthony. Get your funds over here, brother. You know what? You're going to probably just sit there. Yeah. All right, how do we sound? Can you hear me, Anthony?
Sounds fantastic.
All right. Well, everybody, this is the man of the hour, of the weekend, of the day, Anthony Sanchez of UFO Highway. As you all, for all those who have been listening to us for the longest time, know that he has called in numerous times just to bug the crap out of me.
That's right.
And he does a great job at that. But, you know, we still love him. Hey, Eddie, can you hear us on the speakers out there? Yeah. Yeah? Right on.
Am I coming through okay? All right.
All right. So, we're cool. So, well, Anthony, finally, the weekend. How many hours have you slept in the week?
I have not. You know what? You guys have a sponsor that's an energy drink, right?
Yeah.
And this is no joke. I have not slept since 4 o'clock in the morning yesterday. I would like for you to interview Tom and Jerry, the guys from the project. That's their real names, by the way. Tom and Jerry from Project Camelot. They're like the helpers of Carrie Cassidy.
Uh-huh.
They were with me this morning at 3 o'clock. No, what? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6:35. I was falling asleep trying to put together all the administrative legwork, you know, in place for the volunteers. And unfortunately, you know, I've not slept. At 6:35, I went up to my room. Gorgeous room, by the way. We're going to have a private get-together there later tonight. You're all welcome. And because they gave me the Crown Suite, so it's my room and then like a
the
party
Crown
place.
Suite.
Yeah, so you're all welcome. You're all welcome to come.
I hate you.
So anyway, I need some of these vitamin drinks that you got, these energy drinks. I'm not kidding. I'm like on the verge of collapsing.
Do you want one right now?
I want one right now.
Okay, let's give him one. Give him a liquid nitro, and that's no bull. You hear that?
Liquid nitro, folks. And anyway, I would like to give a shout out to Eric, Sean, and Brooke, my kids. I love you guys, and they'll be here later. I'd also like to give a shout out to all the listeners of SPS Live. I really want to say that Jeff Gonzalez has probably put together one of the most amazing displays that I have ever ever seen at any shows. I've been to Congress. I've been to crash retrieval conferences. I've been to so many of these. I've never seen anything as ornate and as involved as this. I mean, we're talking prosumer camera. We have a gurney with aliens, and I'm staring at a Behringer or Mackie mixer. We're just, ladies and gentlemen, this is the bomb.
This is the bomb. Thank you.
And I'm about to drink liquid nitro herbal remedy here. This is what I need because I am about to collapse, and this is going to get me through the rest of the weekend. I really need this.
Oh my God!
Right here, folks.
Should we call
Thank you.
Should we have the nurse and doctor on standby? I mean,
I don't think so.
You know, we do have a gurney right over here in case you pass out.
I know. I got my little buddy right here for good luck. He's really good for good luck, and he's going to keep me going strong. But no. On a serious note, I heard Ed Grimsley speak this morning. He did a fantastic job. Everybody was singing praises after his speech, his presentation. Michelle Menny's up there right now. I know she's doing a great job. She always does a great job. She's from Holistic Mountain. I was just in the room with Paul Bradford from Ghost Hunters International and talking with him and introducing him to Spencer Hughes from Fox Across America. Spencer Hughes. Yesterday, I was on national radio from New York to Los Angeles with Spencer Hughes. Spencer Hughes and his daughter are here today, and most people don't know this, but they're actually closet ghost hunters and UFO hunters.
Really?
So I'm glad to have them here. It's a pleasure to have them, and they're my special guest, by the way. Spencer and I have just met recently, and I've always listened to his show, so. Because of Spencer, I'm voting for Ron Paul. Back in the day, I voted for Obama because hope and change. But now I'm a Ron Paul convert. But anyway, we're having a great time here at this event, and I'm really excited about it. And
so let's. What made you want to do something like this?
Hold on here a sec, folks.
Oh, here you go.
Yeah, that's what I needed. That right there. What was the question?
What made you want to do this? Is actually the first event you've ever put on, correct?
This is the first event I've done. About 10 years ago, I did an event here called PCSupershow.com. And PCSupershow.com, this is back in the days when people used to build their own computers and Fry's Electronics and, wasn't really a thing. And, you remember we used to build our own chassis, our own motherboard.
That's not me, but yeah, I know where you're going with this. Well, a long time ago, yeah.
We had computer shows right here. There was a company back in the day called Market Pro, and people would go to the Market Pro shows. And we started up our own, and it was a really successful show, and we had it in this place, so I knew the layout, and I was excited about the prospect of coming back to this venue. And putting on a show. And the UFO Paranormal Summit is different. It's not Congress. It's not ConCon. It's not the Bay Area UFO. It's not like those shows. The difference here is we incorporate cryptozoology, the paranormal, with respects to those who do ghost hunting or study the phenomena of poltergeist.
Right.
We also have UFO hunters. We also have alien UFO hunters. We also have people that specialize in alien-human hybrids. We have everything here. Michelle Menny, she focuses on the spiritual aspect of things, and she's from Holistic Mountain. But anyway, I'm really excited about this show, and I think the fact that we sold 170 tickets online.
That's pretty damn good.
And you saw the line this morning.
Yeah.
It was outrageous. It was outrageous the number of people that were, in line to buy tickets. So we're happy. We're happy with the way it's turned out.
Sweet.
And yeah.
Well, that's good. Because sometimes you just don't know. But you know what? There are a lot of people out there who inside love this stuff.
Yeah.
And they don't talk about it, but when something like this happens to come up, man, they are there in a heartbeat. The money they're going to spend money because this is basically their love, and they will be there no matter what.
Yeah.
And
hey, this tastes pretty damn good, by the way.
Doesn't it? I mean, I used to be a Red Bull guy until these guys came into play, and I'm going, holy. But this stuff is great.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
It's good.
Yeah.
So, and I know that you are going to continue doing this, right? This is not a one-shot deal.
No, we just acquired the rights to Bay UFO Con and Bay Paranormal Con to take it to the Bay Area. And we also acquired the URL SoCal UFO Con and SoCal Paranormal Con. So what we decided to do was, because of the success of this show, based on the pre-ticket sales and the interest that was generated, we're going to take it to Southern California, to the Bay Area, and beginning next year, Memorial Day weekend, if you go to area51skywatch.com, area51skywatch.com, we are going to start doing the Area 51 Skywatch Conference. Ed Grimsley is a big part of that. Gen 3 night vision technology, Chuck Paloka, Ed Grimsley, and a bunch of other people who specialize in, sky watching with that type of technology. We're going to be doing a conference in Alamo, Nevada. We kicked this other guy out, and we're bringing our product there. And we're going to be doing it at we have a facility that we picked out that's really nice. Really,
is it a hotel? Is it a hotel?
It's right there. I don't want to give it away.
Okay.
I don't want to give away the secret, but we found an amazing location, and we were there. Ed was there. Rick Prestel, all of us. We were all out there having a good time, and. Hopefully the next time you guys see me on camera, I won't be so damn fat. I want to talk about something here. I was cognizant of the fact that I had this event coming up back in February, and I said to myself, I want to lose a lot of freaking weight. And instead, I gained a lot of weight. I think it was the stress.
Think so?
I think it was the stress.
Well, you know what? The more you it's going to come off really quick.
Well, maybe if I start drinking liquid nitro, I might lose weight. I think I'm going to start living off it. It's
you know what? Where
can I get this?
Bath salts will work too.
Oh yeah, I'll start chewing people's faces off with that stuff. Where do I get this stuff?
You know what? That right now is a product that grew up and was born in another country, and they moved it to Los Angeles, and it's moving north this way, and it's hitting Fresno, and it's going to continue moving this way.
Oh yeah, look at that.
So.
I like it. It's
good
it's really
stuff.
Good.
It is good. I know. I mean, I know he's not saying this because, trust me, it's some good stuff. So
it's really tasty. I've never had it before. I like it.
It's good. So now, now you know that we are now going to be your mobile headquarters for broadcasting live. I hope you realize that.
That's right. So each of the UFO cons we have, the Bay UFO Con, SAC UFO Con, and SoCal UFO Con, I'm expecting Sanger Paranormal to be there.
Okay, we are.
In attendance. And this studio is amazing, man. I love this thing.
And you know what? We're going to be upgrading. A lot of people just see the inside. They don't see the
UFO right above us.
Yeah.
Was it a 10-foot in diameter?
It's almost 10 foot, yeah.
Oh, my God.
And we will, we're still going to be adding to it, so it's going to be tricked out even more as we get further in. But this is actually the first time we've actually brought this whole thing into an area. So we were like, hopefully.
Hey, listen. One of the things I wanted to announce too is I have this event marks the debut of the announcement of Scepter Paranormal Radio, my own little radio network. It's pretty much to promote my authors, because this year I'm becoming prolific with the amount of authors. We have non-exclusive agreements for people that are in cryptozoology, ufology, Bigfoot, everything.
Cool.
So, and I want you to write a book for my publishing company too.
There's a lot of people who have been pushing me to do that.
Yeah, and I think your first book should be through Strange Lights Publishing. Well, Scepter Paranormal Radio Network is coupled with Scepter Journal Quarterly. It's a magazine we're going to do 4 times a year. It's going to focus heavily on the paranormal, and I've already been approached by several people that said they'd like to simulcast through my network. And I'd love to have some of your shows, be posted up there so people
absolutely
we can get SPS Radio Live even out there, amongst a bigger audience.
Sweet.
So because I'm going to market the hell out of it, just like I did this event. So,
okay.
Yeah.
Well, then we need to sit down and talk about that then, big time. So
yeah,
we have there's a lot of stuff coming up in the future. We'll talk about that.
Yep.
But we are happy to be here. We're excited to be here. It's it's UFOs and cryptozoology.
Yep.
That's just a big thing for everybody. And
what time is it in the morning right now? It's 9:30.
It's 9:30.
Wow.
9:30.
Yeah.
You probably don't even know what time it is.
I know.
That Red Bull is going to help you.
Yeah,
so.
I'm looking. It's not a Red Bull. It's
I'm sorry, liquid nitro.
Oh, nitro.
Joe, I am so sorry.
Liquid nitro,
Joe
folks.
is so going to kick
not
my
Red
ass for
Bull.
that. No, Joe. See, people, I'm going on 3 hours sleep. We left this
you
morning
know what?
at 3.
He was up there. I saw him lurking about, and I'm like, what the hell is Jeff doing out there?
We were up here till Danny
Yep,
just
he's
fired
fired.
me.
He's fired.
I'm fired. Yeah, we were up at 3 o'clock and we got up at 6 o'clock because we had to fine tune everything in here, and we got it to pretty much where we wanted it. So, so right on.
But people have been asking me. Where's the guy with the car window of the baby Bigfoot snot? And this one kid came up to me and he goes, I would imagine that it was going wow, 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 across the window. I said, I don't know. You'd have to ask Jeff. But apparently, Jeff, you brought a window, didn't you?
I brought both windows.
Both windows.
I brought both windows.
Now, this was an adolescent Bigfoot, right?
Well, we're thinking
a baby Bigfoot?
It's hard to say at this point in time. We think it was a male and a female. One with an adult, and the other one possibly a child, I guess.
So a child Bigfoot, that'd be about the size of Ed Grimsley. But yeah, about the same size. I would imagine, reaching up to the window, pressing its face up there, and yeah.
Well, I want to concentrate on UFO when I'm speaking.
Yeah,
that's going to be my. Yeah. It's going to be UFOs. The new UFO show, Chasing UFOs, is coming out on June 29th.
Yeah.
We've been, the Fresno's going to be the premiere episode on that day, and I want to talk about all that. Matter of fact, they're working right now. My people are working on on all the pictures and stuff like that.
That's nice.
But I want to talk about the Bigfoot stuff out here. So maybe in a little bit after we finish here, you can give me a slot time where I can do like a presentation out here.
Absolutely.
That way we can go ahead and
we got the theater is packed already. So the people that are here right now, the people that have bought the online tickets, and we got a bunch of people that were in line that I was blown away by the rush that we had this morning.
Cool.
So I would imagine we're going to see a lot of people, a lot of foot traffic through here later today. So, yeah, definitely.
So yeah,
hey, you know what? The terrace is yours.
So yeah, well, I don't want to step on anybody's speech at that particular time. So we'll discuss what time we can do this stuff. But
okay.
All right. Well, hey, dude.
Thank you very much for having me, Jeff.
Coming down.
And thank you for the liquid nitro, not Red Bull, liquid nitro. Yeah. Oh, look at that. And I got.
Oh, dude, you're gonna be spinning all over the place if you drink that too.
Exotic berry flavor. Kind of looks like something else that I own. I'm just not even gonna go there. From Canada. I'm gonna leave that alone. But anyway, but thank you guys very much. Are you gonna be talking to Ed Grimsley?
He is next.
Yeah, the night vision guy. Ed's excited. Oh, by the way, Ed Grimsley's going viral. Yes, if you go to Facebook, there's all kinds of pictures. He's never even seen Facebook, so he doesn't know what the hell we're talking about. But if you go to Facebook, there's that one picture that says, it's Ed with his hands like this, and it says, he says, I can't even repeat it. There's a picture of Ed Grimsley on Facebook, and he says, I didn't say it was aliens, but it was aliens. You got to see it. It's hilarious.
Oh, shit.
But anyway, thank you, Jeff.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you for inviting us, and obviously I'll be seeing you out the weekend, dude.
Yep. All right.
And don't fall down.
Oh, no, I won't. I
got
plenty of this stuff to keep me awake.
Sweet, dude.
Thanks, guys.
All right. Thanks, Anthony. That's Anthony Sanchez, the man behind the convention here in Sacramento, California. And, he's basically he's like, woo! And that poor guy. So, all right, Ed, get your you-know-what over here, and let's talk some UFOs and the night vision stuff. Yeah, bring it all, buddy, if you want. If you want to show and tell, go for it. I mean, we only have like 2 million people listening, so.
Oh, well, I'll leave my clothes on.
Please leave your clothes on. I want to at least have 1 million. So, ladies and gentlemen, we have Ed Grimsley on. He's going to be sitting... if you just go and just Google his frickin' name, you're going to have pages and pages and pages. He is a man who first came out with I want to say with the usage of night vision goggles to actually see UFOs up in orbit, in space. Now, you can look outside with the naked eye, and you can see satellites moving all around, and you can see the 737s and 737s at nighttime. But there is a lot more stuff happening way above all that. And sometimes your naked eye cannot capture this stuff. And so what Ed has done, he has come up with a way to actually see what's going on up in space. And here, put this on. And he's going to give us a demonstration on what the hell is going and how he got started. And because his name, if you are involved in UFOs, you know who this guy is. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. So, Ed, welcome.
Thank you. Can you hear me okay?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
All righty.
So we were talking last night. You were in here for a little bit when we were trying to fine-tune everything, and you were telling me how you got started. And I want you to just tell the people really quick how old you were, what were you doing outside when this all happened?
Well, the first time I ever saw any UFOs is I was about 10, 12 years old, and I was on top of Mount Santa Helena. And my dad and a couple other people, we were hiking, and two craft approached on the side of the mountain over the edge, level with us, and my dad says, "There's a UFO." And I go, "I know." And he says, "Hold still." And me being who I am, I waved slowly to them, and it wobbled back. And so I thought, they're smart. And I don't have a flying saucer, so they're smarter than me. So it went on, and I never saw anything again for a while. And when I was 16, camping trip, hunting. My father, mother, a friend of ours named Jess, and some other people from Calistoga were in a campsite up in the Sierras. It was about 35 miles out of Truckee. And I looked up at dark out of the sleeping bag, and there was craft flying, and they were going against each other and battling, blowing up one another. And I yelled out to my dad, "Dad, there's a war going on up here. There's craft shooting each other down." And he yelled back, "Go back to sleep, you're dreaming." I said, "I haven't been to sleep." I said, "I'm not dreaming, crawl out and look." And by then I had yelled to a neighboring campsite, and they went out and started to look. And they were basically, "What the hell's going on up there?"
Now, you were up in the mountains then, so it was a lot. Obviously, when you go up higher, the visibility is a lot clearer, and the stars basically just, boom, right up at you.
It was one of those kinds of nights that there's not a bit of smoke or fog or anything. And it was crystal clear, and you could see these stars unbelievable. And it was with the naked eye. And you could see them, plain as day.
Wow. Wow.
And the battle went on. My dad went back to sleep, and so did some other people about an hour and a half later after watching. And I'm the curious guy, so I stayed up all night, and I laid there and watched. And to see them go into different formations and to make maneuvers and how to circle and head-on runs and firing back at others and that. And I counted 45 craft that night when I started counting after a while. So probably more than 45 were blown up. And, you know, it cost me like, it cost my mind like, who are they? What are they dying for? And where are they, from here or out there?
Now, you were like, what, 16 or something like that?
I was 16 then.
So now I'm not trying to like tell everybody your age, but we're
that's
talking.
okay. I'm 112.
So we're talking maybe in the what? In the 40s, maybe in the 50s?
No, that was 1961.
1961. Okay. You're not that old. Come on.
Well, no, I'm younger than 112.
So
I'm 67, hoping to make 68. It depends on if the government catches up.
I was gonna say, you know, you keep doing this shit, and you're gonna be in 6 feet underground like all of us here.
No, they're gonna put me in a shallow one. Probably because of the economy being bad. Only use one bullet, and it's probably I won't even get anything but a plastic bag for.
Probably.
You know,
now, I can understand the plastic bag. You know, the FEMA coffin maybe will throw you in with a couple other guys. So, but you'll be with good company.
FEMA, are you allowed to cuss on the radio?
We're internet. We're an internet.
Oh, so you're allowed to cuss.
Absolutely.
So you can say FEMA all you want.
Absolutely. I get it.
Folks,
Absolutely.
Folks, he's the host, but he's a little slow.
Dude, I'm on 3 hours of sleep. I need a nitro. Give me a nitro. Give me a nitro, seriously. I need a nitro really bad.
And I need one too, and I'd like it cold.
2 nitros. But yeah, I'm working on 3 hours sleep. So dude is like, I'm not even here yet. I don't know how Anthony's walking around. Later he's gonna be rolling around. Trust me. But okay, your gadgets. When did you start, or how did you figure out to even get night vision involved in this?
Thank you.
Sweet.
Ooh, nice and cold.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I basically hadn't seen craft flying and battling like that for a long time, and I knew that they were there, and I kept wondering, are they still there? Are they still fighting? Or what's going on? So I found a big 5 pair of night vision goggles that were the $300-400 bracket, and I bought those. And when you get home, it's lucky if you can see it's a cat or a dog in the backyard, and they're very low grade, and you're wasting your money and your time. So as time went on, I went to a gun show in Reno, Nevada.
You don't have a gun on you right now, do you?
Oh, not one. No.
I don't know where he's holding it, but I don't even go there. All right, go ahead.
Well, no, I don't believe in guns. I don't think they should be.
But yet he went to a gun show.
Well, no, I don't believe in guns because they're just going to take them away from you.
That's a whole other story.
No, I believe that you should defend yourself in anything that you can or any way you can. And if somebody comes up to you and pulls a knife on you and tries to rob you, I think you should explain to him that you do not bring a knife to a gunfight.
You know what? Don't even bother explaining. Just pull the trigger.
No, you should warn them. Leave. And then if they don't leave, you blow them away.
Oh. I like the way this guy thinks. And this, I know this strategy is. I like it. Because I'm a gunman, so I don't know about, I'm going to protect my family, whatever it takes. I'm preparing for 2012, whatever 2012 brings. And people who listen to the show know me and know what I've been doing. So, all right.
Okay. Well, my dad bought me my first 22 when I was 5, and he used to help me hold it or other guns when I was 3. So I'd been target shooting since 3 years old, and I'm 67 now. And there has been a point where I started going downhill a little bit on my shooting, but I've shot as high as 175 trap in a row without a miss, and I only stopped then because my shoulder was sore and I had surgery orthoscopic on it about a month before, and it was starting to swell and look at that. So I don't know how many I could shoot in a row, but there's times when you'll miss a few, and then times when you'll get boring because it's boom, boom, and as long as they keep breaking, is exciting. But it's expensive to shoot now.
Yeah,
I mean, the cost of ammo and the targets and all that. But I actually went to the professional trap shooting events, and this is my first time, and I went out there and I won the B division, and through the whole day I had missed 2 targets, and everybody accused me of being a sandbagger, and they didn't want to pay my money to me, so I told them where to kiss me and didn't go back, because I shoot for fun and sport. And if people can't shoot good enough, don't make excuses and don't give people bad times that who is a natural shot. I mean, it's not a scam, it's not a way of life. And if I ever get a chance, we go trap shoot or target shoot or something. And
well, I do want to go down there to your side of the town and, possibly even maybe do a remote live thing at wherever we go, and let's look for this stuff, because they're everywhere, right? I mean, they're just not in California. What do you think? I mean, is it? I mean, okay. We're gonna talk about what's flying over our sky. Now, last night when he was here, we were talking about Fresno. He lives in the Napa Valley area, so we're not too far away. We're still in the central San Joaquin Valley, sort of, kind of. And he told me some stuff last night that, I'm not supposed to basically repeat on what's going on in Fresno, California. I didn't tell him anything about what I thought was underground, and he told me exactly where and what direction it was, and I knew that there was something out in that area. He blew me away when he told me that, and there was a reason why he told me that, because somebody else told him that as well. So, and I don't know if you want to go there, but...
I think that I will at some time, but I am still working on try to find the girl that had told me. And
how long ago was that, though?
That was 20.
There's no way. There's no way you're gonna find her. I mean, come on. If you knew what was going on,
she was being used for hybrid experiments and that, and basically she had told me she was abducted by our own government, and that they were using her because of her DNA and her blood type and that, and she had 2 children or had 3, and they were giving her another. And I found her climbing out of a bathroom window of a gas station in Eureka. And
listen to this, people who live in Fresno and who are listening. Right, okay, go ahead.
So I basically turned my pickup and went back, and she was crying and running down the sidewalk from the back of the gas station, and I said, "Are you in trouble? Do you need help?" She said yes, and she ran to the pickup, jumped in, and I told her to lay down below the seat level, and she told me the people that were watching the front of the gas station were sort of like government type things or program people, and explained a lot of stuff to me about she had been abducted as a younger girl, and that she had been going through a lot of hell because they take the young from her by cesarean, and they take them at a certain point and then finish the birthing, and that she loves her children, and they look mostly human, but there's a lot of alien to it. That they have beautiful dark eyes, and
that's me.
And they no, you're one of the low breeds.
Bam! No, go ahead. Go ahead.
Slam, bam,
Slam,
thank
bam,
you,
thank you,
ma'am.
ma'am.
But it's like she told me things like that the children are very mental. They can think, read minds, do this kind of stuff, and that as their mother, that they know what she would be thinking, but she couldn't tell a lot about what they were thinking.
Now, what city was she from? Come on, just spit it out. Just spit it out. Spit it out.
Fresno.
Thank you.
Now I spit it out.
Okay. Now,
but basically I want to find and check everything that's missing. I would like to try to find her parents if they're still alive. And
well, how are you going? I mean, you only met her for a night, right?
No, it was actually...
I mean, did you get her full name, the whole 9 yards?
Well, back then I did, but that's 20 years ago. And well, I didn't think I was going to be here today trying to find her.
I mean, did you get her first and last name?
No. No, but she told me what one of her parents did for a living, and that she had escaped once before, and she made it within 2 blocks of the house before they had her on tracking and had grabbed her and seized her again, and that she just, she wanted to be with her children that they've given her, but yet she wanted to be able to see her parents again, and she said she's just caught in the middle of the hell. And I offered to... I got this leg bracelet thing off of her, a monitor, and then she was able to communicate more with me. some people had moved out of a mobile home that I had on the ranch, and there was a wig and some old shoes, some clothes. So we changed her to a blonde, and it basically gave her a pretty good disguise. She thought she had an implant in her left shoulder, so we took aluminum foil at my shop and we wrapped that area with aluminum foil pretty good. We cut the bracelet off. The black limo that had been driving out on front of my ranch on the main road and coming around, we had went into a restaurant earlier to try to duck them, and we had wrapped foil around her ankle bracelet thing, and these two guys in dark suits came in, had a little pointer counter thing and held it and was looking and turning it and doing things different directions, and then they turned and left. And
was she still? She was still there. They just couldn't pick up the signal.
They wasn't getting a good signal, and so
they just say, "What that? Well, didn't you shoot them? They were on your property."
No, that was at a restaurant.
At a restaurant. Oh.
And if they'd have done the wrong thing, they could have gotten shot. But my job was at that point to
keep her hidden,
keep her safe. And I really don't give a hell if it's the government doing it or aliens doing it, but if somebody's abusing and treating people wrong, it's wrong. And I would have stood up for what it was. And in fact, I did have a concealed weapon permit, and for banking and other businesses I was a contractor. And when we ducked out to try to do some restaurant and try to let things settle down and let her stop crying, I put her on a hard hat like you flag and a flagman's vest and that blonde wig, and we went into the restaurant, and I had a lockbox with a 357, and I unlocked it and brought it with me concealed. I had a weapons permit, so I could legally do that. And she says, I don't want to get you hurt. She says, they'll probably take me back and see my children, and I love them. I want to do that, but I got to try to find my parents and meet them. And they weren't going to allow that. And I guess they were transferring her from up by Crescent City, from some facility, and taking her down towards Ukiah. And they were supposed to go off of Highway 20 someplace. And there's some kind of facility and underground and stuff out there. In fact, I've looked into it as much as I can, and I find out there's actually large trucks that go across and then never come out the other side. And so it's probably taking supplies, going underground, or taking care of a facility. But, you know, I say so many things and tell so much that that's not going to do any good.
That's what we see in Fresno, too, in a special location. Where you said that was the underground facility, that's exactly where they're seeing these trucks go.
Yeah, and the thing being is that down by Fresno, I was on Highway 5, and it was almost straight across from Fresno, or a little north.
Mm-hmm.
And the first time I saw these two things look about the size of the Volkswagen, and they're glowing, and they're bright bluish silver light, like as if it's energy flowing off the craft. And they came right down from above over Highway 5 and was zigzagging and diving down, and they went within 20-30 feet of the ground, and they had to be moving about 300-400 miles an hour. And you could see the light from them lighting the ground up as they were passing through.
So were they messing with the traffic at all?
No, they avoided the freeway. They came in over the freeway, dropped down on the right side or the west side of the road, and flew over this big field and did some maneuvers out there, like as if a couple of bees zooming back and forth, and they're kind of around each other, moving back. And And it was amazing to see anything be able to move and fly like that. And I estimate, from what I could see of them, they were like maybe the size of a small Volkswagen or a Bug. About a year later, I was going back to a conference, and I had William Rowling with me, who we call him UFO Bill or Big Bill. He does night vision stuff and has learned a lot from me and learned a lot on his own. And he does videos and filming, and he even sometimes spiritually tries to communicate with them. And I looked over, and here is 3 things out in the air. They're about 60, 70 feet apart, and they're looking exactly like the other 2. And
do they have any type of formation to it?
No, they were zigzagging around. They weren't in one point or the other. They were zigzagging, and they would be 1,000 feet in the air and zigzagging and zooming down and leveling out instantly right above the ground and zigzagging and crossing paths with each other. And to me, it looked like probably some of the same craft that's been photoed doing crop circles. And I didn't stop to see if they were crop circles or what, but Bill got to look over and watch them. Other people were behind us in another vehicle, and when we stopped and we kind of slowed up and hit our brakes and that, they wondered what was going on. They looked out. They saw the last of them, just a glimpse. And to me, there's something going on down by Fresno. And I have stopped on trips going different ways, pulled in a wide spot and watched the skies there. And I've seen some pretty good craft activity there. And there was one area that I saw a craft up pretty high, and it just came in and started descending, and then went down into this area and then just disappeared. And so I thought that could be an underground base. It could be military. It could be alien. You just don't know what, but you do know that there's a lot going on, and that you're lied to every inch of the way.
Yep, absolutely.
So I'm quite worried about planet Earth and the people on it, because I know from that girl's experience and what she told me that they were working on a hybrid program and mixing alien and human. And that tells me that they want to phase us old guys and the old humans out and maybe bring in new, or they want to share the planet with others. And when military-industrial complex that Eisenhower talked about, that is so real and so true, and you can see it happened. And you can see that Kennedy was killed because he didn't support the Bay of Pigs attack, and that he was going to let people know that there were aliens and that there was craft. And Khrushchev and him were going to come together and do it. In fact, in one of his speeches that got wrote and never talked about, he talked about off-planet and world. And then Ronald Reagan, when he was president, he basically was saying, look, if we're going to have an alien attack or, foreign, we'll probably come together real fast. But the whole thing is, I feel that New World Order, Nazi, the fact that Hitler was working with some aliens and they found proof about that, and him having spacecraft and another one, the Bellcraft, that they have records, secret records, of the Nazis flying to the moon in 1938. And when you see that these things are being hidden everywhere, and that Roswell and other places have the crashes and the knowledge that they have, and it's all denied by the military.
Right.
It's denied by the government and the leaders.
Yep.
Well, you see, I think their goal is that not for the people, by the people, but by the government against the people and keep us in control and over controlled, because maybe there's a way that we're not capable of handling the truth and the technology. But they're keeping the technology, using our tax dollars and spending the money that we should be spending for our cancers and our health and all this, and they're just refusing to give it to us.
Right.
And yet they're controlling it.
Yeah.
So
I totally agree. I think that, if the truth came out, there's a lot of people, and we're talking billions of people, that would not be able to handle it. Only because it would scare them to death. The religion thing would be thrown right out the door with everything else, and people would panic.
And there'd be no hope for the Pope. He'd have to get a job.
Yeah, basically, a lot of people say the Vatican is into this, one way or another somehow. So, you're right. There's a lot of things going on. The people who listen to this show know that when I give them a lot of the stuff that we take as far as when we video, and especially with Fresno, you cannot deny the evidence that we've gotten so far, and the stuff that you've gotten in the skies through your night vision. Let's talk about that right now, night vision. What made you go to night vision?
Well, I felt like if you could see into the night on the ground, you should be able to see into the night in space.
Sure.
And that if they're light reflective, you should be able to pick up objects easier than you can normally and intensify the light that they're reflecting or giving back. So it was just like, I got to get a good pair that you can see with, and it was like a challenge. I wake up thinking about seeing these battles go on and the UFOs as a kid, and I don't think they're attracted to me, but I can't say they're not. I have seen big ships come over maybe 2,000 feet above me, 3 in a row. That you could see the big ridges coming down over the top. You could see the domes.
Now, is that with or without the glasses?
Oh, that was with the glasses, but because at that in the dark, couldn't see it. I had some people at my place, and they were looking and watching, and there was a battle that went on earlier, and they got to see that. There was some craft pursuing each other. There was these things I call the deltas. They look like a Conquered jet or like a B-1B bomber, and you can't see any source of power.
Now, you actually had some celebrities actually go down to your ranch. Is that correct? People listen to this. Listen to who actually. Tell us how you came involved. Did they call you, or did you call them, or how did that come up? And who were they?
Well, a movie company called me and said that they were doing some filming with Ozzy Osbourne and Sharon and Jack and their daughter.
The whole family, then. The Osbournes.
And they would like to see through night vision goggles and have it in the film. And that Dr. Lear was going to check them for implants, and that Barbara Lamb was going to analyze them, check them, and
No, check who? The Osbournes?
Mm-hmm.
Now, why were they going to? Did they have a feeling they were abducted, or?
Well, I think that they wanted to find out if they were. They wanted to find out if they could see the spacecraft. They had looked at my websites and work, and
so they were. So the way you're talking to me right now is that the Osbournes are really into this stuff.
I think so, but I don't think they're making it real public. But
now they are.
But we'll help them.
Go ahead and take some zip of liquid nitro there now.
Very good.
So okay. So
now what it was they sent up a crew above and out in the mountains of Julian near San Diego, and they gave me gas money and a hotel and that, and and we were out there to help them film, and they set up a camp that was supposed to be my camp up in the mountains where I skywatch
Gotcha.
from. And it's kind of the Hollywood end of it.
Sure.
And I was laughing because they had lights all over just to show the ground and the tent and the camp and all that. And I says, well, go ahead and photograph that and do it, and then turn it all off because it's going to mess up the night
lighting.
vision goggles.
Sure.
So anyway, the crew was getting things ready and set up, and one of the guys says, well, it's dark and they're coming up late. They're going to have the flashlights with them and coming up, and you can see him from over there, and you meet him at the top of the mountain.
So so the Osborns are coming up to you then?
Yeah, it's coming up to my skywatch camp on this mountain. And so that I'd go over and do that. So meanwhile, this one cameraman says, hey, can I look through your goggles, man? You know, I'm really interested in that stuff. And I said, yeah. So I got a pair out, and I was looking with one pair. And I says, oh, here. There's over here. Look at the laser. He says, there's 3 flying right there. He goes, you're kidding. And he puts them up, and he goes, oh, my God. And then 2 came at a cross path, and these 3 were going to intercept him. And the 3 split apart. One right side, left side, and one up the middle. And these 2 were breaking away, trying to turn and get away. And they literally hammered him and blasted him with laser blasts and blew him up. And this cameraman goes, holy shit, oh shit. He says, this is not supposed to be happening. He says, I thought you were crazy. And I says, yeah. And he goes, what just happened? I says, well, tell me. Did you see spacecraft? Did you see them blow each other up? He goes, yes. And I says, now you're crazy too.
Exactly. Once you see the true fact of what's going on, then there's no way around it. People are going to think you're tripping. And you know, you could be the most sincere guy in the world, and if you even say, I saw a UFO last night, that's it, you're done.
Yeah, they think you're hallucinating or you're crazy, you're on mushrooms or whatever, but the only mushrooms I do is on my pizza. and it does help to be a little crazy. And I don't care. Let the world think I'm a little crazy, because I'm crazy enough to tell the truth. I'm crazy enough to tell them how to do it and how I discovered it. The only problem is that half the world thinks it's true, some know it's true, and the majority think you're crazy. Absolutely. Or you're stupid or whatever. And having a choice, I prefer to be half crazy than totally dumb. So,
you know, you are in. I mean, us out here who go to these type of things are informed, and we're going to be the last ones standing because we know what's going on. And there are a lot of people out there who refuse to even think this is even remotely possibly fact. And you know, people like you, people like me, you know, when something happens where it involves, let's say, I don't care if it's an invasion or a visitation, you know, we're going to know what to do. And there's going to be a lot of panic out there. People are going to believe the military, the government, where, you know, you and I know that's the wrong direction to go to. So I understand. You know, people call me crazy, but lately we've been getting a lot of stuff on film and pictures, and you know, we're able to show them that, hey, you know, look, what do you think? You know, police officers are sending me photographs. You know, hey.
Well, I had a fireman in my hometown, Steve Campbell, and he's a cool guy, and everybody loves him. And he's real smart, and he cares about his job, and he's the fire chief. So I'd been after him to come out and look, and he was being polite, and you know, like, oh, I don't want to tell my buddy here that he's crazy. So I walked up to him one day and I said, look, Steve, I'm really tired of you. Yeah, and not. So I says, come down tonight. And he goes, you know, I should. He says, I'll come down about 8 o'clock, and I can spend an hour. And I says, okay, fine. So I met him at the little lake field. And I had helped build a little lake field, so they told me I could use it whenever there was a game not going on. So I go down there with my night vision goggles and tell them, hey, I'm using it. Well, I told Steve how to use the goggles, how to look, and what they were going to look like and how they're going to be coming through, and that there's different routes they take. And within 10 minutes of looking up, I saw 2 coming by that are fast flyers, fast movers, and they were side by side, and they'll look like a ghost. The coloring and everything, and I believe they're definitely our military type. And they come into view and are out of view within 5 to 7 seconds, and they've just covered hundreds of miles. And so he saw what I pointed out to him. He goes, oh my God. He says, I saw something like that a minute ago, but he says, I just thought it was a bug or a bird or whatever. But he says, no, they're really doing it. So he stayed and watched, and we saw many different things in different sizes and shapes. And he got to see formations. He got to see single craft and delta shaped and saucer shaped and satellites and other things, bugs, birds, bats, easily to tell the difference. Well, he was so excited and seeing so much stuff that I think he was trying to keep track, but I think he's seen 90 to 100 craft that night. And 8 o'clock went by the wayside, the hour, just forgot about it. And him and I were standing out there in the cold until 2:30 in the morning. And he was like, oh,
he was
man.
memorized. I mean, he was.
Yeah,
I mean, he
he
was like,
was-
"You got to be freaking kidding me!"
I just put him into a different form of mind.
Absolutely.
And I think he...
It's all-
you
it's
know,
all over for
shock
him.
therapy.
Absolutely.
He now knew it was true. But if you have a job and you have a reality and you're the fire chief or whatever,
Yeah, you got to keep it in the wrap.
you can't go tell the world.
Mm-mm.
And so if you ask him, he'll back it up and say, hey, Ed Grimsley's telling you the truth. There's things out there. I don't know who they are or what they are, but they're real.
They're real.
And so that's cool because you got somebody who is willing to stand up in a high position and agree that you might be half crazy, but now he is too,
Right.
because he's seen what I've seen. Then when I tell you it's out there, the only reason why I tell you it's out there is because it's there and you need to know about it. And our government is lying to us. There is a good possibility, in my mind, I believe, that aliens worked with Hitler. They did things, they gave knowledge and weapons and war and spacecraft. And I think that there was a treaty between those aliens, or humanoids, to have Germany rule the world and the Nazis take over and perhaps share it with aliens. Now, I can't get you the documentation or the proof, but it looks like day by day it's getting true. And you take, for example, that the knowledge and the scientists that when the war ended, they scrambled and they brought the top scientists and people over on Operation Paperclip. And others went to Russia on whatever their program was, and they both got some of this. And it's my understanding through a secret source that there was 2 saucers, and the Russians got one and the Americans got one, and there may be another one that's in some mountain or cave or where they had it hid, and maybe the Nazi government has used it, or maybe even Adolf Hitler really escaped with it and went to the South Pole or down there someplace. But when you find out that NASA is being ran by those people that were Nazis that came over to our country. And when you find out that George Bush Sr. and his father and supposedly have a Satan worshiping area at the ranch and are supposedly Nazi, you wonder how America has been dumb enough to allow Nazis to become president. And then when you find out that somebody who wasn't born in America and is a half-breed or a hybrid or a whatever is running our country and doing us a great deal of harm, and he's just another puppet.
It's all planned.
That they've put into place to orchestrate the fall of America and the takeover of planet Earth. And I mean, I am so far from being a genius, but yet I keep my eyes open, and I listen, and I check into and find out that so many things are true and bad that it has to be deliberately being done to us. When the Congress and the Senate, all together, only 7 of them vote against the health and safety code for food and gardening and all these the crap that they're pulling on you. You no longer can grow your own garden. It's against the law. So you can't plant your squash, your tomatoes, or your zucchinis, or whatever. It's illegal. In a free country, they have made it illegal to grow your food. Now, people, wake up. How the hell dumb are you? I might be half crazy, and I prefer it over totally dumb. And the Congress, you should go in and you should find out who voted for it.
The Congress they're passing laws left and right almost every week, and some of these big laws are slipping these little things in there that you don't even bother to look.
You don't know what they're really doing.
Yeah, exactly.
But this means that our Congress and our Senate and our President is not being ran by the people. And they are here supposedly servicing the people. Well, back in the old days, if you wanted a cow or a calf and you didn't have a bull, you could hire the veterinarian to bring some sperm out, and they'd put it in your animal, and they called it servicing. So what it really means is that they are artificially screwing you.
Basically, huh?
And you're never going to get a vet bill because you're never going to have enough money to pay it anyway.
Right. All right, let's talk about these glasses. I want to talk about these glasses.
Okay, can I catch one more thing real quick here?
Sure.
Now, I started a thing called Citizens Alliance. Of course, I'm president of it, but nobody voted for me. And in turn, we need to all stand together, form an alliance, and we need to collect money, raise money. We need to go out and hire lobbyists. We need to hire people to check on the senators and the congressmen. And we need to find out what kind of drugs they're doing at the party. And we need to find out if they're robbing, stealing, doing things. And I think that every politician in our country and every police officer should be randomly drug tested.
Absolutely.
Now, you go driving down the street, you can get pulled over at a roadside check, and they can thrash you around.
Mm-hmm.
But they are beyond. It's ridiculous what we're letting them get away with.
Well, and talking about the food situation in the San Joaquin Valley, the Fresno area, they are turning off the water for the farmers down there. I mean, they are killing. Basically, most of the food comes from the central San Joaquin Valley that feeds this world, but they are turning off the water. Why? Because they're trying to save stupid little fish that are in, that are in our the location where our water comes from, and they don't want the dam. They don't want it's stupid, idiotic way of saying, you know what, we are turning off the water for the farm, and the farmers are leaving because they cannot grow the produce.
Water is life.
That's it. And it's unbelievable that Feinstein is just screwing the central San Joaquin Valley, and it doesn't make any freaking sense. And people, this is happening. I mean, if you live in the San Joaquin Valley, you know that they're trying to get the water out and make it another desert, basically. Well, it's ridiculous.
It's all part of a plan.
It is part of a plan. Yeah, it is.
And I believe that the New World Order, the Nazi Party, and perhaps aliens involved working together, and they're controlling people in our government. And the people in our government are taking pay, and they're making promises to them of something or some survival or some reward. Because I just find it unbelievable if these people are doing that to us, to their citizens. So I hope they get their reward in the end, and I hope it goes way up in the end.
It's time for a revolt. I mean, it's the only way to take care of business.
Well, it's true, but they have gotten so many weapons against us that we have no clue about, but I have a lot of clue about it. They have frequencies, and they can fly by in a helicopter and point it down at you. And they can render you unconscious with a frequency. They can stop you breathing. They can make you pass out. They can give you heart attacks. And this is nothing compared to some of the things they have. They have satellites that can fire beams from the satellite and take out sections of towns. Now, if they control the food and you have very little, and they tell you, turn in your guns and we'll give you food, you'll resist, but later you cannot eat the gun. So they're going to get their way. The other thing is that these FEMA camps, and that they're buying up all the food, all the meals that they can get their hands on. They're buying most of the ammunition, so you can't. And I believe that they are going to do a type of martial law or a world takeover, and any country without guns, weapons, and the ability to stand up will be the first to go down, and the rest will follow. And if you don't do what you're told, you'll be marched up to the train, hooked up to the handcuffs, and hauled off. Now, a lot of thought has gone into this. A lot of definite proof of what they're doing. And I've got notes. I've got people stating in quotas and things. And the public is just so naive and unaware that they're getting their throats cut.
It's again, this goes from what I said before. We have to be prepared. You and I are going to be the last man standing.
Yeah.
And I'm getting out of Dodge. We already have a plan that when this happens, we're out of here. We're out of here.
But you can only be out of here so far, and they'll catch up.
Well,
if you can't get onto another planet with your own spaceship, you're going to have to put up with what's on planet Earth. And planet Earth, it's got so many problems of its own. And how do we maintain society, proper wildlife balance, Mother Nature, while they're wanting to blow the hell out of us? They're wanting us to kill each other so we can get food. And then after we've destroyed each other, then they want to top in and clean up and give us control.
Right.
And they're going to give you total control. And they're putting pressure on people right now, causing mental anxieties, people to lose their homes and everything they've worked for all their life, so that nothing has much meaning to it. And they do things to you like, if you're behind and you owe taxes, then you get a 10% penalty on your taxes, and then 18% interest on that and the penalties. So it turns out that you're paying 28% interest, plus you have to pay the new year's taxes. Well, they raised the taxes penalty price up, and they raised the interest up back years and years ago when the interest rate was running around 22% to get money. So they said, hey, it's too high, we're too cheap. People aren't paying their taxes, they're spending the money. So they accepted 28% on their total, which was 18% plus 10% penalty. So they also were supposed to adjust it downward if necessary. Well, the interest rates went down, down, down. And we've been assessed more and more and more on our property. And the value of land, house, and property is devalued greatly.
Yeah, it has. It's dropped big time.
And they're still charging the taxes on it that they were before.
Right.
But now, it might have been a $400,000 house, and now it's worth $180,000 or $200,000. But you're being taxed on the higher price.
Absolutely.
Then also, what's happening is that the more they can hurt you, the more vulnerable you are. And when you get older, you get weaker. When you've worked hard all your life to get property, to have a home, to leave something to your children, they can take it away in 30 days with the property tax thing and the back interest. If you sign a plan and you're trying to make the plan and make the payments, you have your present taxes to pay, you have your plan taxes to pay, and what happens to you is if you don't catch up, if you don't make your payment when you're supposed to, if you're 30 days late and you don't make it, they can seize your property without anything but a stroke of a pen, and no rights to recover it, and it can go to auction, and you must come up with the full amount before the auction. And then, if they're going to auction it off, they charge you a fee accessed on top of the penalties and things for them to process it. So you now, if you owe $10,000-$12,000, they can take a $500,000 piece of property from you in a blink of an eye, and you'll get diddly diddly. Well, I'm not president, but if I were, I would say that no state should be able to do that to a citizen, and that at the worst, if they're behind 5 years in the taxes, then the government can do a joint action with the owner. And the joint action would be that the owner would sign it up, and it would be put on the market without being told that it's on that program. So you won't injure the people from getting a fair market price.
Right. You know, Ed, we got only 11 minutes until we need to get into those glasses.
Okay.
Let's talk about those glasses, and if you want, go ahead and zoom in. So that way people can see those glasses. So these are basically what he's been using to skywatch. Now, how do you record using your...
Okay, well, let me get going and I'll throw that all in. Okay. Now, these are night vision goggles. If you want to see properly and do it right, contact me, ask any information. My phone number is 707-478-2540. I try to answer the phone all the time, but try to limit your calls at 2 or 3 in the morning. I get those all over the world. And lately, I'm kind of like sleepless in Calistoga.
Keep drinking the liquid nitro, you'll be fine.
Yeah, be doing the nitro here. So, in these goggles, you can get different magnifications. Magnifications on the end.
Sorry, I'll turn you up so you can talk away from it.
Magnifications on the end is a 3-power, 5-power slip over. You put those on, it's okay. I get cameras. Do you have one here?
A camera, or a cell phone? You mean, or a regular camera?
Okay, you can. You got a cell? Well, I got a cell phone too. But you can actually take your cell phone with a little camera lens, turn it to record. You can look through the right eye with the left eye, see what you're looking at. You can hold your cell phone recorder up to the lens on the other side, and it comes out pretty good.
Wow.
But a good camera hooked up to the back so that the opening goes to the left. Have the camera mounted behind here. Look through this goggle with either the left eye, or if you want, you can turn it over and look with the right. Your filming will be upside down, but then everything else in the world is too. And you can zoom these things in with a camera through the back hooked up. And Bigfoot is vanished, so you can see these goggles.
Now, how much does something like that cost right there?
Well, there's different tubes that go in these and different qualities and generations and that, but stay away from anything generation 2, and don't take anything that unless it's at least generation HP or plus. But generation 3 is where it is good. And like I say, call me. I became a dealer with all the major night vision companies. They love me because people are calling them and buying goggles, and they're getting top dollar for it. And I try to give people a break on the goggles, but at the time there are people saying, oh, internet this, internet that, and they're basically taking a pair of these goggles and they can buy cheaper tubes and put them in. So you think you got a PVS 7, and you might have a PVS 7 with an old Gen 2 tube, or basically a knockoff tube out of China, or maybe Russia. Russia has some good tubes. They have some good goggles. I've got a set of goggles that are set up the way I want them, and it's part Russian, part French, and they're as good as the American goggle. By far is good, but you can take them in and out of the country, and you're not suffering any penalties or law, because the technology law doesn't want these goggles to leave the country. And if you live in America at this time, we can still get a pair, but if you plan on taking them out of the country, you could get in trouble. If you're not a citizen and you get a pair of these in this country, you could cause problems. So what is the price? Because a lot of people are wondering, man, this is so cool, I want to do it, but you know, price is a big thing. What is the least amount you can get away with to start something, to start a project? There was some goggles that I was selling through my website, and they were $1,800. And they were the cheapest ones that was working, and it was all good. But it's like I have people in Australia that have had to send them back to the States twice and get a switch or some other thing, and they basically are still good. They have quality, you can see, but they're falling down on the security and the end of them in performance. And there's goggles that are similar to this for $3,400. And you can hook up cameras and do things on them and that. But I try to get people into my Skywatch Club, and it's like $20 to join, and then I have a way to give them a discount without cutting factory throat. And there's good goggles, the different tubes. I can get them down around $2,700 from 32 and $3,900. Depends on the tube, depends on the color. 100 goggle or tubes, there's maybe 2 or 3 that is a special color and a tint that's better than others to use for watching in the sky. And I try to get those, and I call them Skywatch goggles. And I try to get them, and it depends on how many tubes I got at the factory, but I try to do that for $2,900, and it's just beautiful. It works better than the regular goggles, and high dollar, like 4th generation Pinnacle grades. A lot of times you're spending money that you don't need to. Spend it on a magnification end, or put it on a camera and put it on the back end and zoom 20-30 power and start filming these so that you can send your film into YouTube or send it to me. We can evaluate it, and we can try to put it out to the world. And the only way they're going to admit is by sticking it in their face and saying,
well, here it is.
What is this?
Mm-hmm.
What's this strange craft firing up here? And we have pictures of it. We've got pictures of craft blowing other craft up. And I don't think they want us to show that.
Mm-mm.
And I was told by 2 guys that came to Calistoga, dark suits, flashed me a little ID badge thing, and buying me lunch. One sat and watched the door and me. The other one sat with me and talked, and they wanted to see all the videos that I was taking with my night vision, and they wanted to scan them before I would put them on YouTube or anywhere else and check them. And basically the guy says, we feel that you could put a security risk with what you're showing and doing. And I says, well, how is that? And he says, well, if you showed the wrong craft or the wrong thing, it could be a top secret type thing, and you could be letting it out. And I says, wait a minute. You guys don't have any UFOs, or do you? And if you don't have any, how can I show them? If they don't exist, or if it's alien craft, and I show it, that's not part of your security group, is it? He goes, well, no, but you got our drift, you know what I mean, and, well, I know you got a cocky attitude, but we could change that if you want to continue. I says, actually, it's not that I want to continue, it's that I'm going to continue. And I was in the military, and I believe in freedom. If you work for the government like you say, then work for the people, because it's supposed to be the people controlling the government. And I says, basically, if I know something is really potent, I'm not going to go show it to the world, because I don't want to hurt my nation's security or what's really going on, because I'm an American first and I'm Ed Grimsley second.
Well, then what do you... But you don't know what is ours and what is theirs. I mean, how can you tell the difference?
Because I'm Ed Grimsley. Now, I've been looking at different craft and different things, and I see different things all the time.
Is it because of the shapes of the
shapes,
the weaponry they're using?
Style, speed, formations. Sometimes their battle maneuver shows rather it's kind of planet Earth type of program, and For example, the Navy has, and the military of all branches, has a crafts that some of them have ejection pods, like the F-111. If it gets hit in the back end or engines blow or takes a hit with something, it can detonate the cab, the cockpit, all that, detonate it and do a rocket blast and send the whole capsule out, and they can fly the capsule to try to get out of the enemy territory, the dangerous area, whatever. And then they also have strode lights. They can be seen through looking through night vision, then you don't see it with the naked eye. But when I see craft blow up in space, and I've got people with me, and then they say, whoa, there's a strode going on. And in turn, that capsule has a light come on, and it's flashing. And the capsule may be not controlled very well. I don't know what the beings are doing inside, if they're hurt or injured, or they're just using a secondary to get away or move, or if it's the energy that from the craft moving and getting hit, that some of that energy is still taking it. But some of them will wobble, then they'll bounce around. Some stay fairly straight, but after being blown up, this ejection pod, escape capsule, whatever it is, there'll be another craft come in sometimes and come to it, attach it or take it in and rescue it and fly off. One night in particular, I saw these two dogfighting, and one was firing back, the other firing forward, and they're zigzagging.
Now, excuse me, but this is all in space.
Yeah.
Right? Okay.
Definitely.
All in space.
200 miles or better up.
All in space.
And I've never seen them battle down low. I think that the program is engagement rules are up high. If you hit somebody, by the time their debris comes through, they're going to burn up and destroy. You're not going to have any proof, or they're going to float on further and then come down. Well, I saw one firing back, the other one firing forward, and they exchanged 2 or 3 rounds of boosh, light go by, and the timing got just right, and this guy fired from back here. He hit the one up front. He hit him a little weak and far out, and the one flashed and explosions, stuff came out, and it went on. And that one turned and went back like he was looking for another target. Well, a strode light come on, and it was floating across there, bright flashing to try to, it's all light up there, so they try to give a different type of light. And here come one from out behind me, and I picked it up, and it was heading really fast. And I mean, when something's flying 25, 30,000 miles an hour, and then they engage and sometimes go into 50, 60,000 mile an hour type air battle, Star Wars type thing, and this thing came across from way far away and is traveling 100,000 miles an hour at least, just gets there, slows up, and he's turning and he's banking around this strode light. And then from, it would actually been south, east, two come together in formation, and they're zooming up. And as they come in, one goes past the craft over here and this one here, and they start flying a circle like a support protection. And the other one is in close, and you can see it. And then you see the strode light out. Whatever's there you cannot find, and that craft starts to move away. And the one in the circle that's furthest around breaks and goes out in front of it like Leading Point, the one with the capsule or the prisoners or the rescue is in the middle, and another one is behind them, and they all three are going off, and the moon is out there, and they are going out, and I'm watching them further and further and further until I can no longer see them, and they're heading right at the moon. You couldn't put a better line up on them. You couldn't put a sight on them and make them any truer, heading out to the moon. So my feelings is that night I saw them either rescue one of their people or some of their people or take a prisoner. And they went towards the moon. They didn't go towards the ocean or drop into the sea. So I think that there are craft out there that may be some of what's protecting planet Earth or keeping us prisoner Earth. And I believe that our sources or reptilian or gray sources are fighting. And I think we've joined in. We've taken sides. And I think we're involved. And our government is lying to us about everything because they don't want us to know any truth. If we know truth, then we'll know to stand up. We'll know to say, hey, this is crap. Why should we give you money so that you can make laws to take everything away? Why do we elect you President Obama and Congress and Senate so you can pass a law that we cannot grow our own garden? What the hell's wrong with that? How about everything? Everything is wrong with that. And the different churches and organizations say have food, have supplies and emergencies and things. Keep seed, do that. And then there's companies making seed that can't be reused. You have to buy their seed. And in turn, they're spraying us with chemicals that have barium and metal types of materials and things that work against our mental capacity. See, it's working right now. And in turn, we are being numbified. We are being chilled down. We are being pacified. Zombied to where we don't stand up. We don't say, hey, wait a minute. You can't take our rights away. I don't care if you're the president or not. You cannot tell us we can't grow our own food. Who the hell are you really? And, you know, we're sitting here putting up with Obama trauma. And we used to have Bushwhacker. And you know what it is it doesn't matter if it's Democrat or Republic. They put their people in there, and which one of their yes man gets the job.
They just had a meeting not too long ago. The Bilderbergs just had a big old meeting. You know, they probably decided right there and then who's going to be the next one in. You know, we're not in control. You know, you can vote all you want, but at the very end, it's whoever they want to be in the White House. It's going to be the one in the White House. There's nothing you can do about it.
First of all, some relatives of the Bushes own the machines that counts the votes. They also owned the security company for the buildings and the towers. They also have done so many things that it's all a criminal act, and they all should have been in prison long ago. George Bush and some other people were found on an international tribunal guilty of war crimes. And supposedly, if they ever go to that country, they can be arrested for it. But I don't think that's going to happen. And the other thing is that Reverend Moon been around for a long time, and he had mind control, and they called them the Moonies. And there was one not too far from my place, and there was a girl hitchhiking with a guy, and I picked them up. They were young, good looking, and they were going out to meet somebody someplace and sell flowers so they could raise money and it was part of the Mooney program. And they had gave up their assets, they gave up everything to be with Reverend Moon. And they told me that Reverend Moon was God, and that he was here on earth trying to do more work for the people. And it's like, how brainwashed can you get? But Reverend Moon was in prison for taxes and other things, and the Bush family helped get him out. And George W. Bush says that God has spoken to him. Well, which God was it? The Reverend Moon God, which is a friend? And that the Bushes ended up, I think it's in Paraguay, with a gift of a lot of land, with a lot of water, and a lot of things in it. And that they, under Bush administration, put in a base and a facility with that country, and made an agreement.
That's going to be their little hideaway to get out.
And that they could never be excommunicated out of. And that these military surplus rocket launching helicopters and fighter jets and all this are there under that program. And it protects that country. And it protects Mooney land and Bushy land. And Jenna Bush went down and they got a treaty to never send Papa Bush out of the country if he had warrants or anything. And they did this before 9/11s and other things are taking place. And why are they doing it? Well, to me, it looks like a cover-up and cover your own butt. Make arrangements so you don't have to go home and get hung if you get in enough trouble. And if it works and you don't get in that much trouble, then happy you. And the people don't understand that a bushwhacker is a bushwhacker. And rather it's George Sr., George W., or the next Bush they want to put in office. So what it is, folks, you are going to need in the future to get married or have sex. You are going to have to go to the government and get an erection permit. And if you don't pay it, you'll be sent to the vets
to get clipped.
And you will be spaded or neutered. And I don't think we can ignore it any longer. And I need all of you to go stand up, because I can't do it all. I'm just one little fat boy, and it's not even real fat. It's artificial.
I see you're eating a candy bar there, so there's a lot of that in there.
I'm diabetic.
Oh, okay.
I'm diabetic, and I was having low sugar moments.
Well, geez, I would think.
So now I can have high sugar moments.
And you're drinking a liquid nitro on top of that. Are you supposed to even drinking that?
Well, I don't know, but in a couple hours, if I'm still alive, I'm going to tell you.
Dude, 911, what's the phone number for 911?
Oh, I have them on standby.
Okay, Ed, you know what? Time is up, man. Dude, you're 11 o'clock straight up. We got to call it there. We appreciate you coming on and telling everybody what's going on and with your glass, because I know everybody was definitely interested in those glasses and what's going on with our world. I mean,
well, I know what's going on with the world, and I know much, much more than I can tell you, because what I'm telling you now is enough to get me killed.
Yeah.
And I'm hoping they'll let me stretch it a little. But if I tell you everything and how bad, you're going to shiver and quiver, and you're going to cry, and you're going to wish the hell that we stood up while we could. And it's maybe too late, but let's give it a try anyway.
Absolutely.
And I want to take, and I'll meet you down in Fresno. You send gas, I'll send glasses, and we'll go out and do Skywatch, and I'll show you a way we can find out in that area anything that's going on.
Oh, I know the exact spot. Spot.
We will be giving them
some shit.
We'll be giving them
shit.
We'll give it to them.
Sweet. All right, Ed. I'm excited, and we're going to make that happen really quick. You know that.
I know. The best way to treat a bitch is bitch slapping.
Oh, they're not going to like this in Fresno at all. All right, everybody. That was Ed Grimsley. I appreciate you hanging.
Thank you.
Thank you for being on my show tonight.
And I'll be down there soon if I live through this.
All right, everybody. Ed Grimsley. Okay, we're going to take a break, and we are going to have... I'm going to go look at the schedule, and we're going to take a break. What's that? Oh, there's a book signing going on right now? Okay, that's cool. Okay, so we're going to take a break here. We will come back in about, 15, 20 minutes. We'll find out. We'll get another earphone. We'll get somebody else out here, and we're going to come back on. So give us about 15, 20 to half hour. We'll come back on. Thanks, everybody. We'll be back. Coming to you live from the SAC UFO Conference 2012 in Sacramento, California. I'm going to stay on for a little bit here. Who just you got a schedule? Find out who just finished talking. Okay, we got. Let's see what we have here. I'm going on at 12 o'clock, people. For those who are out there, I am going to go on at 12 o'clock. I am going to give you the full insight on Fresno, on what the heck is going on in Fresno. A lot. And I'm going to spill my guts out there on stage with probably a little bit of Lick and Nitro involved in that too, so it's going to be a mess. I go on at 12 to 12:45. Right now, it's 11 o'clock. They got public book signing going on in the exhibitor room from 11 to 11:45. And then, holy mackerel, I'm going on in 1 hour. Woo! I didn't know that. That was awfully quick. Okay. So I'm going on in 1 hour in front of thousands and thousands of people. And so I'm going to pretty much kick some ass. I had Alan and Eddie putting some pictures and some videos together. What I'm going to be talking about is basically going to be UFO stuff. And at the very end, I'm going to spill a little bit on the DNA and the Bigfoot stuff. And then I'm going to pick out a time. I'm going to come out here, and we're going to basically let everybody look at the windows and the DNA. For all those people who don't know what the heck that means, well, you're missing a lot. You are missing a lot. So I gotta get a spot somewhere at the very end of this afternoon or evening to break out the windows. I have the windows with the Bigfoot impressions on them. I have them here tonight. Going to be disclosing them to the world for the third time. I don't take these windows out any place. Right now, we're in the process of getting the DNA done. Yesterday, or the day before yesterday, we went through the process of the DNA, and we got results, certain results, and we're pretty happy with those results. Now we're going to take it to the next level. So there you go. So I am going to pretty much just... we're going to turn it off. Yeah, let's turn it off. I probably won't be coming back on until after I come back on, after I speak, and that's going to be at 12:45. So I got it from 12 to 12:45. I am going to come back on probably at 1 o'clock and interview myself. So I'll come back on at 1 o'clock. So everybody go out and have some lunch, relax, and I will see you back at 1. Take care. Correct, X-Files, 1 o'clock.